Hey gang, this is number one, that's the plumber. So today he's over at the Rite Aid. Well, he's in front of the Rite Aid. He's at the bus shelter at Magnolia, just a few steps away from Hollywood Way. He is unable to accept help. He's been offered help multiple times and he's said no. And when we offer him help, he rejects it. So I'm not sure what he's up to tonight. Probably he's looking for people to give him money. That's number one for the night, today's census. All right, the plumber's on the move because I came back after I went to Whitnall Highway Park South and he's not there. So I'll go check it out and see where he went to. So this guy has been in the neighborhood many times. He drives around his wheelchair in the middle of the road. And he's out to cause trouble. I was literally driving, minding my own business, and he came riding down the wrong side of the road in the number 2 lane. That's the lane second from the center. And he literally was playing chicken with my car, with his scooter. And I just, you don't know what to do. I actually stopped and he just kept riding like he was going to hit me and try to make some kind of a false claim, that I hit him or something. But he was, he was interesting. He's an interesting guy. I've seen him around town. A friend of mine got sued by somebody in a wheelchair. It might have been him. He sued 600 people and like a bunch of companies in Burbank he sued. I don't know if it's that guy, but a man sued for alleged ADA violations. Of course, they're not real violations, just trumped up nuisance charges to try and get money out of people. But that guy just rides down the middle of the road and, tries to create accidents. I don't know if he does it on purpose, if he's mentally ill. My experience is that it's usually on purpose. And I saw the cases that were filed against Burbank businesses, and there was like a huge number of them. But just one guy filed 600 lawsuits in federal court against businesses alleging ADA violations, all with the same schlocky attorney. Anyway, I'm looking for the plumber. That's what we're doing right now. I was trying to find out where he went off to. He kind of knows that I'm looking for him because I saw him glance at me and he recognizes me. He knows that I'm out and about. So I'm just going to pick up the recording again when I see him. He's running the red light, this guy in the wheelchair. I'm telling you, he's trying to find lawsuits. That's what he's trying to do. He's pulling out in the middle of the road, trying to find lawsuits right there. Yeah, I'm over at the 3708 West Burbank Boulevard, the Smart and Final, and typically I see Chicago over here, but I don't see him right now. So he's moved on somewhere. Okay, this is Loretta Lynn Lohe. I always know it's her because she has those Sprite soda bottles there. She's sleeping. So Loretta Lynn Lohe is sleeping across the street. She's living across the street from Liquor Palace, or is it Palace Liquor? I have to go look now. Palace Liquor or Liquor Palace. Over here used to be Chicago, but he's not there tonight. I wonder why. He's somewhere else. It's very unlikely he's moved on to another city. Very unlikely. He's probably here somewhere. So it's I'm gonna just take another quick swipe over here and just take a quick look and see if I can find him. Liquor Palace. L's the first letter. Liquor Palace. So she lives across from Liquor Palace at the moment, and she's right there with her shopping cart, her bottles of Sprite, her 2-liter bottles of Sprite. And when I first encountered her, I said, "Hi, would you like some help?" She says, "Goodbye," and then she threatened to throw one of the bottles at me. She says, "Go away, or I'll throw this bottle at you." And then she, what she had is 38 arrests 22 of which were in the past 5 years. She had her first methamphetamine arrest in 92. You know, she's another zombie, jello brain. She can't function. She cannot help herself. She calls in emergency calls to the police department, claiming that she's suicidal, and she's cost the taxpayers millions of dollars in court cases, and the police have burned up a lot of time with her. We're here at Ontario and Burbank Boulevard. I'm trying to figure out what the connection is here, why the mummy stays here. This is the mummy. I don't know his name. He's always got those, like, some kind of toy on his cap, and he sleeps here, and he's got his head covered up. His whole face is covered. He's covered from head to toe, and he's got a bicycle, and he just sleeps here at the Cusimano building. There must be some reason he's here at 3100 West Burbank Boulevard. What's the connection? Why here? There's no place to drink, so it's not a liquor thing. Maybe he's one of the Cusimano's former tenants. You know, got kicked out for that lack of affordable housing baloney that they always throw at you about homeless people. So I've called in for help. I'm going to send a message to Street Plus and ask them to assist him. Yeah, this is a bit unusual because this is Carey Mitchell, and he's by this building, which is around the corner from where he usually stays. Normally, Carey Mitchell is over by Arrow Liquor. His stuff is there, but he's not there. You can tell he's struggling because he's been drinking all day. He's got that styrofoam cup and that Coke can right next to him. You can see it on the ledge if you look real close. So every time I see him, he's been drinking. So he's got it's kind of hard to see with the video, but he's got like a Coke can and a styrofoam cup there. So he's been in and out of court a lot. He's got meth arrests, mostly alcoholic, charges related to alcohol. He keeps refusing help. He doesn't want me to assist him. I keep trying to give him shelters and stuff, and he says no every time. I don't know why. He said the last time I was at a shelter, they kicked me out because I walked into somebody's room, and that's not true. I'm sure there was more to the story than that. He was probably kicked out for some other reason. But yeah, the gentleman is been in Magnolia Park since 2016. He's always around. I have been trying to help him for at least 5 years, and he just refuses. So this is Carey's stuff. This is where he sleeps. It's kind of his bedroom. And then he picks up his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He drinks breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and he does it, he buys everything at Arrow Liquor. And this is where he picks up breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. He used to be at Magnolia Park, but he was across the street from Rite Aid, and then he got tired of us asking him if he wanted assistance, so he moved. And now he just keeps saying no to any help at all. We try to help him, but this is his cafeteria now, is George's Corner Liquor Store, Arrow Liquor. Okay, I'm up here by Walmart. I'm across the street from Walmart's rear entrance. And you can see this is the Empire Center. Yeah, he's still here. Now, I refer to this guy, I'm going to call him the Marine, because he was kind of a youngish looking guy. He seemed kind of clean cut, like he, had a shower and a shave type thing. But, that was kind of a far away. I don't really know. This is relatively new. Why don't these folks just put up a fence? I mean, really, just put up a fence. And you won't have this problem. It's just negligence on the part of whoever. I think it's Metro, but it could be Caltrans. It's a bit convoluted up here because when I looked it up, I looked this stuff up on the assessor's website, the parcel, who owns the parcel. When I did the lookup on the assessor's website, I couldn't really figure out who owned the property. It was hard to figure out. We're up by Burbank Water and Power, and gonna go down to Varney. This is Varney. It confuses me because it's Magnolia and then Varney, but one of these businesses has an address of Magnolia Boulevard, but it's not. it's Varney. Anyway, down here at Varney, there's every night I come here, there's a camp going on here. It's this Americold Logistics building is vacant, so there's, graffiti and camping, and this person's here still. I've reported it, nobody does anything about it. I'm not sure why nobody does anything about it. And this is Aries prepared beef. They're here all day long and nobody does anything. I don't know why they don't formally complain about the camping. And this is Teez, t-shirt company. They've got their camp. Yep, he's still camping back there. How do you run a business? The law firm where Carey Mitchell is sleeping, I called them and they had a recording that said, I was going to call them and see if they would help Carey Mitchell by just calling for service every time he sleeps. I called and they said, well, we're all working at home. So that's no wonder he sleeps there, because nobody comes there to that office. The lawyers aren't actually, they're doing all their court stuff on Zoom. Yesterday I took a right. I'm going to take another right here and see what's going on. I did, check in on this old van that was sitting here. And apparently it's not a camp. Nobody's camping there. It's just made a mistake. So this is the home of feral cats. Got to be careful around here. There's a lot of feral cats here. That was 3 of them I just saw there. Oh my goodness. It's like a feral cat paradise. The paradise of feral cats. I kind of like feral cats. They're little bosses, little mini bosses, and nobody bothers me. Hey, don't bother me. Those are the ultimate homeless, though, because they catch their own dinner. They mind their own business. All right, so there's some signs of homelessness here. So anytime I see a shopping cart, that's a sign of homelessness. There's some whey protein in the cart. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe that's a dinner. I don't know if there's a person here. Okay, well, this is Varney. I came to the back side because I haven't seen anybody back here before, but I've seen signs of homelessness. So it's always a good idea just to check up. I'm going to go downtown and check on the parklets. That's something I like to do because I have never once seen the parklets completely full. In fact, they've always been mostly empty. There was one time when they were about 40% full. We'll see if it's Saturday night. It's not even 9 o'clock. Let's see if they're extra full. I got a guy tailgating me. I'm going to get out of his way. Okay, the plumber's on the move. He decided to mosey on down. He's now at the 3900 block of Magnolia Blvd. And I believe he's heading over to his normal cubby hole. He's been hiding out between 2 office buildings, but he also hangs out at Valley Boulevard. I'm going to just check in and see what he's up to and where he ends up going. Okay, he has arrived. I'm at the Magnolia and Valley, and this is usually the spot where the plumber sets up for the night. I usually don't come out this early, so that's probably why I haven't previously seen him in the spot that he normally goes to, but you're going to see he just turned down here, and now he's hanging out. He's going to set up shop right here. We'll just watch him do it. If my instincts are correct, he'll just stop right there somewhere and then just put up his blanket and put out his blanket and set up shop and go to bed. And he's been in the Magnolia Park area during the day, and then he goes sleeps here on Valley at night. And then he just puts the cart up against the wall. So this gentleman has refused services, and Street Plus has been out. I've been by. He doesn't want to be helped. He doesn't have any interest in getting into a shelter. I'm not sure why. Either his mental illness or some sort of other problem that he's having has made it so that he can't help himself. he can't accept or, initiate any kind of help for himself to get off the streets. He's refused shelters. So anyway, that's the plumber. That's our last one for the night. And, Magnolia Park, it didn't have that many people. He was the only person that was on Magnolia Boulevard. That's all the way from the tip of North Hollywood, the end of Burbank, all the way down to downtown. He is the only person on Magnolia Boulevard, with the exception of Varney, but that's underneath Magnolia Boulevard, the camp that was over there. But yeah, it's different. When you go out and engage people, they move on to someplace else. I can say that Carey Mitchell has moved up to Burbank Boulevard. So has Chicago. But for the most part, I don't see all the other people that I saw. I didn't see the man who was screaming last night. I haven't seen him anywhere in town. And I looked really hard for him, too. Last night there was a screamer. He was like with a closed fist, somebody who looked very unhappy. And he was yelling at himself or yelling at the park bench or something, or the bus bench. But that's it for tonight.